Hello, I am Archimedes, support/coach on the T2 roster of GTGaming. This is a quick guide and analysis over the general build I use for Uther the Lightbringer. This build is based generally around making Uther a very utility support, making use of his CC, making him a very teamfight swingy hero. Instead of solely healing or solely increasing the damage your allies can dish out, the role Uther has is to take a fight and turn it from one way to another. So it's like you are all getting pushed back and CC'd, you start CCing them, you start cleansing your allies, it swings in the other direction. I can't very well demonstrate this, but I will go over the talents and how they help in this regard. At level 1 we take Conjurer's Pursuit. Uther is very stingy on mana. His abilities are expensive, 90, 65, 40, with most of them being wanting to be placed off cooldown, and none of them are regenerating any mana. At only 500, like, you want to use Holy Light every 12 seconds usually during continuous fighting. That just gets rid of your mana pool. The Hammer and the Holy Radiance don't do much less. So, just to start on his build, you take Conjurer's Pursuit. Holy Light, you rarely have a problem where you're too far away to Holy Light. This might help in some fringe situations. If you're going for a Ghost Uther build, which I would not recommend because that implies dying a lot, this helps sort of multitask with the Ghost. Dense Weight Stone. This is fairly good if you're going for a more DPS Uther build, but I find this doesn't swing fights nearly as much as general support Uther. And Dense Weight Stones, basic attacks heal nearby allies. You don't want to be taking too many basic attacks. If you are attacking your allies consistently, your enemies consistently, you're probably not doing the right thing, or you're just so ahead that you can get away with it. I like it. But lately, Uther has been very comfortable getting up in the front lines. So, these two are worth considering more so. This, not so much. It doesn't give you enough. Conjurer's Pursuit. They've also recently buffed Conjurer's Pursuit to make it even stronger. And Uther is very happy about that. Let's show them how happy you are, Uther. At level 4, we have 4 options. Hammer of the Lightbringer. Basic attacks restore mana. Similar to the options at level 1, we have the option to take something that will buff our basic attacks. If you envision yourself using basic attacks a lot, consider Hammer of the Lightbringer. Fist of Justice. Basic attacks reduce Hammer of Justice cooldown. This is only useful if you're doing a lot of basic attacks, because this is a very aggressive thing to take. It hurts your healing significantly. Protect the Weak. The Holy Light mana and cooldown refund when used on minions and mercenaries. This is decent if you're going for a mercenary build as a team. Otherwise, almost without question, on anyone actually, you take Protective Shield. This thing is ridiculous. 325 shields, increasing with level, I think. I might be wrong on that. Yep, increasing with level is really, really good for a support. It gives you a manaless heal to give to an ally, and it's just generally good protection. At level 7, we have the choice between Wave of Light, Rebuke, Holy Devotion, Clairvoyance, and Cleanse. Wave of Light refunds mana and cooldown when healing allies. Decent, but not enough utility. We generally have enough healing with our build already, and while mana and cooldown is nice, we'd rather just continuously rely on our healing and have more swing instead of just heal. Hammer of Justice knocks that target back. You really don't want this. You Hammer of Justice someone because you want them to stay in place. Holy Devotion. Full damage and healing effectiveness in spirit form. You don't want to die. When you're dead, all you really want to do is stun and harass people off objectives. You don't want to be dealing damage, and your healing is decent enough already then. Clairvoyance. Activate to reveal target area and nearby enemies. This is pretty good on a lot of maps. It's pretty good with a lot of styles. If stealth becomes too common, it's really good then. Zeratul is becoming more popular in the meta, so this is definitely worth considering against Zeratul. But what I tend to rely on is Cleanse. Make target immune to disables. This is a immediate free from any disables and a 1-second immunity to them. That is what it looks like when you are immune from disables for 1 turn. I wonder, does it... Yeah, it actually shows at the bottom left for a very quick moment. Nice. It's very useful against your Kerrigans, your Arthuses, your Malfurions. Every hero in the game has disable, actually. If you're fighting a Jada, Cleanse is beautiful because it also gets rid of the chill effect on you, and does not allow it to be reapplied, which really protects you against the damage Jada can do. It gets rid of Tassadar's damaging increase on the crits, or crits on attacking you if you've been stormed recently, but that's very minor. Ults. If you're going for a combo composition, or otherwise trying to avoid a combo composition, you take Divine Shield. Divine Shield is a 3-second immunity and 20% increase to movement speed on a 100-second cooldown. How invulnerable? Pretty invulnerable. But the problem with it is that it only lasts for 3 seconds. While that's significant in a fight, that's not enough. It doesn't swing the fight back into your favor, it just keeps one person alive. So instead, we take Divine Storm. AoE stun. People are attacking here, people are attacking here, they come together, get between them, and they're all stunned. And so now your team, which might have been equal or worse, or even better in that engagement, dies to their team. Is the first instant to use the ability. The second instant is as a secondary Hammer of Justice if you know you can get the kill. It is, because of the 70-second cooldown, you're okay with using it to kill someone off, but it's much more reliable in a teamfight situation. At level 13, you have a lot of good choices. Burning Rage deals damage to nearby enemies, really nice for helping you clear minion waves. Why do we not like this on Uther? We already have a way to clear minion waves. Spell Shield reduces incoming ability damage. Doesn't do enough on Uther. He has a lot of health, and he's not afraid of the stealthies. Sprint activates to increase movement speed. An innate escape, and it's one I love to take on a lot of heroes. Not good enough on Uther because you escaping isn't really necessary. Because of your trait, even if you die in a fight, you're still relevant. So you're actually okay with being there to die. Shrink Ray activate to reduce an enemy hero's damage. This reduces their movement speed and damage by 50%. For 4 seconds. This thing is insane. It is your 3rd stun. Someone who has this on them will not be able to escape from a focusing team. This can work on anything a hero is inside, like a dragon or a garden terror. Very reliable spots. Not removal. Spot shrinkage. Also probably has one of the cutest effects of the game. At level 16, Hardened Focus, faster cooldowns to your full health. You're taking a lot of damage in fights. You're rarely at full health. You're trying to keep your allies at full health. Agreed. And the cooldowns are actually not as important for you because you're usually trying to preserve mana, not health. Gathering Radiance. Holy Radiance gains power with more targets hit. This is pretty reliable. This, I will agree, is really, really strong. Very good for clearing waves, very good for swinging fights. Holy Shock. Holy Light can be used on enemies to damage them. You need Holy Light to heal basically constantly. Holy Shock is decent, but you don't want to use it to damage. If your allies don't have enough damage, you're screwed enough as it is. But you can consider it. Fuck, I took it, didn't I? Oops. Anyway. Imposing Presence. Enemy basic attacks are slowed. Enemies that attack you have their attack speed slowed by 50%. This is ridiculous. You could walk into a nightcap and take it by yourself with this. If your opponents are taking Bloodlust, they are now really screwed by your stuns, your shrinkage, your Divine Storm, and now even just attacking you screws them. So in general, that helps swing fights. because they're attacking, they're attacking, they're attacking. Then they attack you, and now they can't attack as much. So let me really quickly get this build back.
An excellent choice.
For your final level, I think all of these are really, really solid. If you want to, if at the start of your team fights is when you're really suffering, take Storm Shield, very consistent AoE shielding. If you want to really swing the fights later, you take Divine Hurricane. And if you want to, if you think the fight's gonna last a while, if you think the game is gonna last a while, you take Resurgence. Particularly if you're not having trouble dying yourself. You lose a lot of value on Resurgence if you die too often. You also lose a lot of value on Resurgence if you don't die enough. For those of you who want to see Divine Hurricane, it's pretty good. Reduction in cooldown, increase in size and damage. Does it increase the damage? No, it just increases the size. Increases naturally with damage. But yeah, that's my Uther build. I like to call it the ability Uther build because you have 3 task abilities here. Possibly 4, if you took Storm Shield. It's very fun. It's very nice. It's very consistent. If you enjoy being the swingy support, and if you enjoy one of the most powerful supports in the game, definitely look at this build. It's been Archimedes, my first video. Yeah!